tell us about what efforts are currently underway. Of course, we have a renewed mandate for the Australian government. Can you tell us in terms of what perhaps universities, academia, and as well as what the government might be doing in terms of really taking advantage of this moment in US policy?
Oh, thanks, Heidi, for having me. And so basically, the Australian Academy of Science has launched a program called Global Talent Attraction Program. And purpose of the program is to really attract top talent to Australia. As you know, that the talent really makes a big difference in terms of our research and development and also our education programs. The Academy is working with the government and philanthropic sector and then the universities and medical research institutes and other research institutes to identify the opportunities to attract talented people to Australia.
I know that you're in Beijing working alongside the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and I do wonder, we know anecdotally, as well as from the data, that Chinese students face a great deal of uncertainty when it comes to whether they can still study in the United States. We know that visas being revoked, background checks, affiliation to party and such are being conducted. Do you think there should be a special focus when it comes to taking, some of the best and brightest when it comes to Chinese academics and students and bringing them to Australia?
So the international students, Heidi, play an important role in terms of research and development in Australia and in every country. And it is very important to attract those people to Australia because they contribute not only to research, strengthen our research, and to give you an example of my own research, and many students from international countries have been participating in our research. Without them, my own research will be very weaker. So that is why it is important to really attract talent from everywhere in the world. And again, there are many areas we can work with China, for example. So this week today we are having a workshop between Australian Academy of Science and then the Chinese Academy of Sciences in the area of environmental protection and biodiversity laws. So really, these are the areas which are of common interest. And we only got one planet, and we all have to make an effort to look after it. So there are more common things than differences. So that's why we really need to make sure that identify the areas we can work together and attract the talent to Australia to strengthen our own research and also contribute to the global knowledge base as well.
There's also huge integrated relationships when it comes to reliance on US research and development and data, right? Be it you're talking about vaccine development or climate or defence and strategy. Do you worry that there's too much reliance, and how complicated will it be for sort of Australia to extricate from that and somehow diversify in terms of where it can get that data and intelligence from?
So US is one of our strongest research partners, and we should continue to engage with US. And while we are doing this one, we also really expand our collaborative linkages with Europe and other friendly countries. So thereby we'll be able to strengthen our research and also make sure that the science is globally stays strong, because geopolitics can change, but the expertise will lost to the science sector will be lost forever. So that is why all the countries globally need to work together and also strengthen that research as well. And that is why the Australian Academy of Sciences Global Talent Attraction Program has been created to ensure the leading experts in various areas can find opportunities to come and work in Australia. As you know that the many countries have created similar programs, it is very important for all of us to lift our game so that collectively we can continue to make sure that our science stays strong, because science has an important role to play to address the global challenges, as you pointed out, like climate change and in terms of pandemics and health security, and then the food security, energy security, and all these things require all of us to work together. And I think it's important for us to make sure that we continue to work together and strengthen our research in all of our countries.
Professor, are you seeing policy cues from the government happening right now when it comes to taking advantage of the US brain drain? Or I suppose, what sort of policies would you be encouraging the Albanese government to put in place to try and take advantage of this?
So the Australian government, of course, the government has just been re-elected, and then the new ministers also are settling down in their roles. And we are encouraging the government to really create a comprehensive program to enhance the R&D investment in Australia, and also make use of this opportunity to attract the top talent to Australia. And that both are very important, including really streamlining the visa processing so that it becomes easier for people to come to Australia. Australia has a lot to offer in terms of excellence institutions and excellent research infrastructure, and an outstanding quality of life as well. So that this combination is very difficult to beat. That's why the government will need to act on it now in order to make use of this opportunity to attract the top talent to Australia.
There's a lot of debate when it comes to dwindling productivity, dwindling innovation in Australia. How important do you think policies like this would be in terms of being able to fast-track the ability for not just Australia's research and development and scientific communities, but also the broader economy to be able to be better future-proofed?
The investment in research and development really has an important role to play in terms of productivity, enhanced economic activity, and also diversify our industry sectors. We need to move from the fossil fuel-based economy to knowledge-based economy. So that is why investments in R&D is absolutely critical for us to be able to strengthen our economy and also enhance the productivity, create jobs which are really the future jobs. For example, when you're talking about artificial intelligence or quantum technologies, or my own area of nanotechnology, and biotechnologies and health technologies. And then they will be relying on the STEM skilled people, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics skilled people. So that is why our government should be really investing and also enhancing the investment from the business sector as well. As you know, Hedy, that government has launched last year strategic examination of the research and development. And that committee is really talking to the sector. And then hopefully those recommendations will be accepted by the government and also will really invest in R&D for the future of our country.
Professor, really great to have you with us, and we appreciate your time. Professor Chennupati Jagadish, who's Australian Academy of Science President. We'll have much more when it comes to Australia Ahead every Tuesday at 10:40am if you're watching in Sydney, 8:40am if you're viewing out of Hong Kong. Plus, you can tune into the Bloomberg Australia podcast, delving into the biggest stories shaping the country's role in global business. You can find that on Apple, Spotify or Bloomberg.com.